Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I hope you can hear me. So I wanted to share something, and I know normally I try to rush through it, but I'm just going to take my time because I want the proper message to get out. So a few weeks ago, me and one of my friends did a 3-day fast, water only fast, and we had certain prayer points for different days. So one of those days, um, while praying, the Lord told me that He was sanitizing His church. I'm sorry, guys. He told me He was sanitizing His church. So I began to pray along those lines. And this came to me Friday. I was supposed to make the video Friday, but I was not able to. But with Billy Graham's recent passing and everyone talking about, the mantle falling and the baton being passed to another generation and all of that good stuff, which I completely agree with, I just wanted to kind of lift up this point. I also, of course, I believe Billy Graham's death represents a lot of things, but just another thing, I think that it represents the caliber of people that God is raising up. I don't believe, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, someone will be happy to correct me, but I don't believe Billy Graham was ever caught in any scandal or anything like that. I don't remember any news articles or anything. Of course, people are always going to say, oh, well, you're a false this and you're a false that and you're only about money, stuff like that. But I mean a legit scandal. 99 years, and from what I know, I don't think he's ever been caught up in one. Of course, Billy Graham was not perfect. We're not going to be perfect. However, I do believe that this generation that the mantle is falling on, the baton is being passed to, I believe we're going to be a holy people. Now, I know that when you start talking about holiness, a lot of people go straight to some type of dress code. Let me say this: we may not look like what you think holiness is, but we're going to be a holy people. I believe the time is out for people preaching different places, and then having their armor bearers going to different men or women in the crowd, having them to come back to your hotel room. I believe the time is out where we're on the pulpit preaching and teaching one thing, but then our lives in private reflect something totally different, completely different. I'm talking about you preaching this and living the complete opposite. I believe that there's a generation who has been crying out to God in private, asking God to purify them, asking God to make them integral. I know me and my friends, I have certain friends, we talk and we'll say things like, oh my God, I'm so glad the world doesn't know me yet because I'm a mess. And not that we're trying to portray this perfect image, but at the same time, we don't want to make Jesus look bad. So I believe that a holy nation is rising up, and I came across a news article, I want to say 2 nights ago, and I don't even know how I came across it. I think it may have been on the It's Supernatural website, Grandpa Sid. I call him Grandpa Sid Roth. It may have been on there, but this guy wrote this article in 2009, and something stuck out to me. He was talking about a vision the Lord gave him, and in the vision there was a demonic manifestation, right, in the service he was in. And the people, I guess the girl's family was with her and said, oh, somebody has to, get this out of her, fix this or whatever. I can't remember the exact verbiage. But he started talking about how God showed him that the kind of demonic manifestations we see in places like basically overseas, Haiti, Africa, things like that, how it was coming to America. And I thought about the fact that, again, me and some of my friends will talk about things, stories we've heard or whatever about demonic manifestations overseas. And we'll say things like, oh, yeah, you know, in Haiti, they got those real demons. I don't know why we say that, but you know, it's really strong. So when he started talking about that, I was like, man, I really believe that. So last night, I just so happened to get one of my notebooks that I write in, and I was like, let me go read over, you know, some of the stuff that I've written. And contrary to popular belief, most of the stuff that God gives me never it's never on social media. I don't put it on social media. Most of it, the bulk of it, doesn't go on social media. So I'm reading over this dream he gave me, and in the dream it was talking about a demonic manifestation. Now I'm not going to get into it unless the Lord releases me to actually go into details, but I'm not going to get into it. However, I will say this demon that manifested in this church, people were running out of the church. I'll say that. I was in the bathroom when it started manifesting, and when I came out, the way the people were leaving out of the church, I honestly thought someone had a gun and was shooting. But then when I actually saw what was going on, my response was, you're telling me they're acting like this over a demon? So, and that's another reason why, you know, God is sanitizing the church, I believe, because demons know. You can say what you want. Demons know how you live in private. You may fool us as a human being, some of us, but you're not going to fool a demon. Jesus, I know. Paul, I know. Who are you? So I really believe that that's going to happen. But I just wanted to lift up the fact that he's raising up a holy nation. And I just love the fact that people are coming together. There's like a merging. And it's God is really teaching us how to become united. Because it doesn't have to be a one-man show, you know. It's better when we do it together. And I even see how he's connecting me with people that I can come together with and say, hey, let's do this for God. And I don't want us to get so stuck on I'm sorry. I don't want us to get so stuck on the last big move, the last great revival. And trust me, I go over the revivals. I tried to do some research. I think it was the night before Billy Graham died, I don't know. It wasn't that, you know, it wasn't that many days before he died. I was trying to do some study on revivals, and I was watching this YouTube video, and one of the guys, his voice was just so monotone. I fell asleep, y'all. But trust me, I'm into studying history and all of that, but I don't want us to get caught up on, I don't want us to put God in a box like, okay, we want God to move like this revival. All of that is wonderful. Billy Graham, Kathy Coleman, William Brannon, what's his name? Oh God, Smith Wigglesworth, Maria Edisworth. I'm messing up names now. Jack Cole, Oral Roberts, all those good people. There's nothing wrong with us studying them, admiring them, whatever, but I don't want us to get stuck in the mindset of, oh, we're supposed to be just like them. I believe that the God we serve is bigger than his last move. He's bigger than the last great revival. So I'm expecting God to do exceeding and abundantly above all we can ask or even think as it relates to this next move. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. He's sanitizing the church. He's going in and he's cleaning it up. Again, there's no condemnation. I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but I think some of us take this grace gospel for granted, and we forget that God is also just. He's a just judge. So just because a person loves you and has mercy, because a person has mercy on you, you're not supposed to abuse that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.